We are going to talk about the definitions of natural numbers, whole numbers, and integers. And there are things in common between all three of these. One main thing in common is that they do not include decimal numbers. So for instance, if I have 0.25 or 0.0036 or negative 1.12 or 1263.5 or 432.6. All of these and many, many, many more decimals are not natural numbers, not whole numbers, and are not integers. These numbers do not fall in any natural, whole, or integer category. Also, 0.25 equals 1 over 4. And so 1 over 4, even though it is a fraction, does not fall under any of these categories. Same thing with if I put 0.10, which is a decimal and therefore not a natural number, whole number, or integer. 0.10 equals 10 over 100, which equals 1 over 10. So 1 over 4, 1 over 2, 2 over 13, negative 10 over 99, 121 over 246. None of these fall into the three categories. None of these fall under natural numbers, whole numbers, or integers. So what is the definition of the three numbers? Let's start with natural numbers. And these numbers are always positive. And the set includes 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth until infinity. The ellipses, which are the three dots at the end, those show that there are more natural numbers than just 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so on and so forth until infinity. So those are what the ellipses represent. And another thing to know about natural numbers is that they do not include 0. Now let's go to whole numbers. This set includes 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth until infinity. They are the same as natural numbers, except they include 0. So natural numbers do not include 0, while whole numbers do include 0. Now let's go to integers. The set of integers includes negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, and I should put ellipses before the negative 2 and after the 2. Integers include whole and negative numbers. So they go from all the negative numbers, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1. They include 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. So let's do some practice problems. Here I have a chart, and we're going to fill in whether a number is a natural number, whole number, integer, or whether it's none of those. Keep in mind that a number can be multiple. It can be a natural number, it can be a whole number, and it can be an integer. So the first one is 6. This is a natural number, whole number, and an integer. The next one, negative 88, is not a natural number or a whole number because negative 88 is a negative number. However, negative 88 is an integer. Negative 10.2 is not a natural, whole, or integer because it is a decimal. The next one, 0, is a whole number and an integer, but it is not a natural number because natural numbers do not include 0. Negative 1 over 5 is not a natural, whole, or integer because negative 1 over 5 is equal to 0.2 as a decimal, and a decimal is none of these three. Now let's think about the next one. Let's think about 8 over 4. 8 over 4, or another way to read it, is 8 divided by 4, and that is equal to 2. 2 is a natural, whole, and integer. One thing to keep in mind is just because you see a fraction does not automatically mean that it is not a natural, whole, or integer. If a fraction results in a decimal number, then it is not a natural whole or integer. However, 8 over 4 does not result in a decimal number. It results to 2. And 2 is a natural whole and integer. So the next one, 5 over 6, is a fraction that does result in a decimal number. So the answer to that is none. 23 is a natural whole and integer. And finally, the last one, negative 800 is an integer, but not a natural and whole because it is a negative number.